Hey, welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff. Co-host Chip isn't here tonight, but that's okay. We're going to hold down the fort because I know Chip is out there watching, tuning in, and we are going to have a great time tonight. So tonight, as always, there's just packed filled with some great things happening. Tonight, I want to get into the crypto boom. Now, how high is too high for this market to go? Ripple XRP, a lot of things happening. Bitcoin getting near 50,000. The XDC network, there's some big news on that front. We're going to get a little bit into some lawsuit update. We want to talk a little bit about the Cardano because ADA just seems to be blowing up. DeFi, Binance, all sorts of crazy things we got to dig into tonight. We might even get into the fact that there's banks out there that are trying to outperform the crypto space. I don't even know if that's possible anymore because, this thing is going nowhere but up. But let's get this thing started. Let's kick it off right now. If you guys are ready, I'm ready. So let's go.
Welcome to On the Chain.
Welcome to On the Chain. So before we get started, I want to give a quick shout out to permission.io. You guys know that, you're browsing around the internet, you run into all sorts of Google ads, Facebook ads. The key there is that these guys are all monetizing off your data. You have no way to monetize your data. Well, check it out. Permission.io is digging into that space. They have a browser plugin. You download that browser plugin, you register, go through the KYC. Then every so often, you get this little pop-up says, hey, you want to watch this video? You say, yes, you watch the video. You get to earn cryptocurrency. You get to earn their ASK token, ASK token. Really cool. Check it out. Something that I think, if you're brand new to the space, say, hey, what's going on with cryptocurrency? Is it possible? Can you take control of yourself and your data and actually make money off it? The answer is yes, you can. So check it out. All right, let's get into this stuff. I want to get into a few key things. Before that, want to make sure all of you guys just shout out where you guys are tuning in from, because Senior and sometimes Junior is tuning in from Denmark. How cool is that? So we got Senior, Junior, Junior, Senior, all the way from Denmark. My buddy Ceci1 tuning in as well. So what is going on? We got Alex Yee. It's great things, and a big shout out to Hans Loaded for everything that you've been doing to help the channel here. So tonight, check this out. Want to get into this one. We're going to just dive right in to the XRP news, I guess you can call it. Let me pull up my screen here and let's go to it. Now, this came to us from Investor Place. Now, I know that there's been talk. There's others that have referenced it. We might have referenced it as well. This article came out 3 days ago on Investor Place. The key here, the emphasis is the case that is pending. Let's see. Look at these ads. We don't want to see those ads. But look at this. Dear XRP crypto fans, mark your calendars for a big Ripple lawsuit date on August 31st. So is something big coming? Is something happening? There's been a lot going on in the high profile Ripple lawsuit that has plagued investors. And we talked a little bit about this on Saturday. We dug into that, what that really means. And here you have the XRP crypto since late last year. It was really in December, right? So there you go. The SEC announced the lawsuit. Then obviously we know a lot of things that have been going on, but here an intriguing timeline of ongoing dates investors need to be aware of can be found in this recent decrypt.co article. And there's one here, the calendars, August 31st and October 15th. And then they get into the exact why. Now let's see what's going on August 31st. Then we're going to dive into some other things. Here it happens to be the date that the SEC and Ripple need to submit their initial arguments and collect evidence. So this is, in fact, discovery. Takes time. This was an extension. Remember the extension back June 14th. So either way, there's a lot going on, a lot of things in movement. We are referencing some of the things happening in this space, and that there's also some commentary coming out of this that the lawsuit might take a couple more months. I'm not sure. We'll see how that goes. But overall, it's crazy because regardless of what's happening in this SEC lawsuit that we're going to keep referencing and bringing up because, hey, it's something to talk about. It's something critical, something people are passionate about. Things keep moving forward, whether it's XRP, whether it's BTC, whether it's XDC. And we're going to get into XDC here in a minute. We've got Mel G coming into us from Fort Lauderdale. How great is that? So Sin City, you missed the intro, but that is okay. You can be here. It's very cool. Check this out. We got James from Dublin. We got Darcy from Galway. And then we've got Stovetop over here from Tampa, Florida. So that's really cool. Crypto Kane from Miami, and K Hud all the way in from Vero Beach. So check it out. We got people tuning in from all over Florida, tuning in from all over the world. We got a bunch of representation from Ireland in here with us. We've got Cancun in here tonight. We even have some NYC with Cadillac Rob. Does that say? Look at that. Got NYC in the house too. So how cool is that? That's awesome. Anyhow, all right, let's go into this one. Check this out. Now, I like looking at some of these articles. Why? Because this one is coming from FX Street. And when you get into Investor Place or FX Street or some of the others, what's really cool about it is that you're starting to see Main Street investment news starting to talk about cryptocurrency. They're not just talking about it, they're analyzing it. So that's really cool too. Man, we got Switzerland. Paul's coming in from Switzerland. If you guys haven't been to Switzerland, go check it out. Really cool place. And actually, if you're in Zurich, it's a very short drive to Liechtenstein. And if you go back and search, you'll see a video that I put in talking from Liechtenstein, which was kind of cool. But anyhow, so check this out. You have the XRP price forecast. Now, again, this is a mainstream kind of publication, with a mainstream mindset, with a focus now on crypto and obviously a lot of other things going on in the space that they talk about, but now a category on crypto. Now, as you get these mainstream kind of public from Zug, very cool. It's not too far from Zurich. It's right there, right? So here you go. So check this out. Now, they're talking about XRP price forecast, Ripple to continue thrust higher, targets 165. Now, I think earlier it was like at 117. It touched the 130. It had been, higher earlier on a couple months ago. Obviously, there's been, a lot of movement, the trends in the crypto space changing, adjusting, but there's so much going on. So look at some of the other news that they published over here on the side. Matic price due for a pit stop before Polygon continues quest for new highs. SafeMoon price changes course. XRP price forecast. Bitcoin target 57,000 despite consolidation. Ethereum has one barrier before it goes to 5,000. XRP looks ready to break out to 2. So they're getting excited. They're getting fired up in this space, talking about momentum. They're obviously going into and looking at the technical analysis, talking about the golden cross, talking about the moving averages. Here they're looking at the simple moving average. Here it's a 50-day, and they get into it. They like their technical analysis. Here they're looking at a 200-day and trying to apply traditional technical analysis that's used in the stock market, but for cryptocurrency. But what's exciting about this is that they're talking about it. And obviously there's a lot of people in the space like Blockchain Backer that gets into and really tries, to tear down and simplify for us to understand the technical analysis of the space. And there's many others that understand, how to reference the technical analysis and how to read it and really try to figure out exactly what it means, for the growth and development in what's going on, so that's really cool. To me, it gets exciting. We're really fortunate to start seeing this brand new asset class going through this momental change. And it's interesting too, because if you think about Bitcoin starting back 2008, 2009, 2010, we're about 11 years into cryptocurrency coming into existence. And look at where it's come in 1 decade. It's come from, just operating on some computers, somebody, paying a ridiculous sum of money for pizza using Bitcoin, to where we are today in 10 years, 11 years. I mean, it's unbelievable, considering that now applying traditional technical analysis, but more than that, because that's been going on for a while, but it's the mainstream. It's how we start seeing people that are normally referencing, business and typical stock positions, like Kevin O'Leary. So here's another article. Kevin O'Leary buys more crypto, gets paid in crypto, and partners with FTX. Now, FTX has an arena with the FTX name on it in Miami. So you don't get more Main Street and mainstream than when crypto exchanges start putting their names on sport arenas. I mean, it's phenomenal, right? So here's Kevin O'Leary. Here he's talking about he's increasing his cryptocurrency allocation and taking an equity stake in the FTX crypto exchange. Now, think about this. Look at this. He has signed a multi-year deal to become its ambassador and spokesperson. He'll be paid in crypto. Now, you tell me that there's nothing more bullish than somebody from the Shark Tank, Kevin O'Leary, increasing his cryptocurrency hold and becoming a spokesperson, putting his reputation, putting everything that he has on the line to be the spokesperson for FTX and getting paid in cryptocurrency for that. To me, that is probably, one of the most bullish signs, because you take a Kevin O'Leary, he doesn't need to do that. He doesn't need the money. He doesn't need the exposure. But here he is putting himself in that space, getting paid in crypto, because he knows exactly the direction that this cryptocurrency space is growing in. So, hey, what is up, Diesel Hound? Great to see you on. It's been a while to see you on, but nothing can stop what's coming. That's exactly right. And then Chip, what is up, Chip? The OTC family here in force, Chip. And we got people from all over, Chip, everywhere, all over the world tuning in, which is outstanding, right? So where are we going? Where are we going with this? What are we going to do with this? What are we going to do when you've got a great spokesperson like Kevin O'Leary? What else can happen? What else, does that mean? How great is that? And then you have others, right? And so we know where the Federal Reserve stands. We know where some of the movement with the central bank digital currency stand. We know where Janet Yellen and other officials within the government that single out cryptocurrency as a utility for nefarious purpose. Then you have Congressman Tom Emmer come out and he says to the Federal Reserve Bank president, most crime is conducted with cash that you print, not crypto. Now, if that doesn't underscore a major statement, right? Look at this. Most cash or most crime is conducted with cash that you print. It's not the crypto that is doing that. So this is, again, another major bullish statement. So Kevin O'Leary, obviously there's all these other bullish trends, but the point is that it's ongoing. It doesn't just start and then stop. It continues. It's a continuation of all the good news from before. There's always little setbacks. There's going to be setbacks. There's going to be little road bumps along the way. You can't avoid the road bumps. What are you going to do about a road bump? You have a brand new digital asset that now, with the decentralized finance and all these exchanges and all this movement, monetary movement, you start seeing pushback, resistance from the central banks. You're seeing resistance from the governments because they don't want to lose their sovereignty over their own currency. So there's going to be all these, misdirects. So for instance, the misdirects that came from Janet Yellen and Elizabeth Warren, the misdirect there is that it's used for illicit purposes. That's, they say, hey, we all know that. That's what it's used for. So you got to be careful. Gary Gensler, I'm here to protect the investor while he's trying to crush innovation. But then you have Tom Emmer coming out here. He pushes back at Federal Reserve's Kashkari over crypto's use in crime. So this is on Thursday. Rep. Tom Emmer told Neil Kashkari, president of the Federal Reserve Bank of Minneapolis, how he is wrong. Look, how he is wrong about crypto being used mostly for funding illicit activities. Why? Because that's a false flag. It's a misdirect. They're providing incorrect information with the hopes of delaying the inevitable or potentially stopping the inevitable. They've got nothing left. They have no more ammunition. They're wrong on all accounts. So Tom Emmer, congressman, pushes back, says, you're wrong. Cryptocurrency is not mostly used for illicit activity, but guess what? Your fiat currency is, right? Crypto skeptic Kashkari said this week at the Pacific Northwest Economic Regional Annual Summit in Big Sky, Montana, that crypto, look at this, check this out. Now, we heard the same thing from Gary Gensler. Cryptocurrencies are 95% fraud, hype, noise, and confusion. Now, yes, there's a lot of that out there. But there's also a lot of fraud and pyramid schemes that are working within the security space. How many pyramid schemes have there been that have stolen millions and millions and millions of dollars from people, crushed people in fiat, not necessarily in crypto? In addition, he said this is the president of the Federal Reserve, the one that is supposed to be educated on economics. I've not seen any use case other than funding illicit activities like drugs and prostitution. Now, if this guy's the president of the Federal Reserve, shouldn't whoever hired him take a second look and say, maybe you don't understand where the future is heading? Maybe you're the wrong person for the job. Look at this. So this is Emmer. Look at Emmer's tweet. Look, he crushes his statement. Crypto-based crime represented 0.34% of the entire transaction volume in 2020. Not even 1%. Unfortunately, most crime is still conducted with the cash that you print. Look at this. Hang on, let's get rid of that. Look at that. Look at this. The cash that you print. We got to bring out the pink one. Look at that. Let's highlight that. Crypto-based crime represented 0.34% of the entire transaction volume in 2020. And unfortunately, President of the Federal Reserve, most crime is conducted with what you're printing, with what you're doing. And it has been for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. So blockchain data platform Chain Analysis published a report earlier this year showing that crypto-related crime fell significantly, didn't increase like the rest of them want you to believe, but cryptocurrency crime fell. How amazing is that? It went down. Specifically in 2020, the criminal share of cryptocurrency activity fell to 0.34% or $10 billion. And that's still a lot of money, right? $10 billion is huge. But how many banks have been caught up in fraud, in deception? What do? They pay fines. All of the banks. Deutsche Bank got caught up over the past couple of years with embezzlement, fraud, all sorts of things. All sorts of things. JP Morgan, all of them. They pay their fines, yet the president of the Federal Reserve will still go on about cryptocurrency. So here it is again, right? We are saying, Janet Yellen, cryptocurrencies are a particular concern. Yes, they are. You know why they're a concern? You know why cryptocurrency is a particular concern? Because it is a threat to their financial hegemonic power. That's exactly what it is. Now you see it blowing up and building and growing, and we see the direction that decentralized finance is going. Ripple, XRP. Getting into this a couple years ago. Think about this. Think about this for a minute. You get into investing in Bitcoin, and you're like, Bitcoin, it's going to get rid of banks. Then you find out there's no way you're going to get rid of banks because the crypto exchanges are going to become the banks of tomorrow. They're just going to replace the brick and mortars. So that's not going to work. And it's too expensive to move Bitcoin. It's too slow. It's not working. Right. And then this company called Ripple, they're using this amazing ledger called XRP and the token, the XRP ledger and the inner ledger and this amazing token called XRP. And they said, we're going to take on Swift. We're going to help global remittance payments settle instantly for pennies on the dollar, fractions of pennies on the dollar instantly with full transparency. And Swift is like, no way, you're not going to take away. We've been at this since 1974. There's no way you're going to take away our business. We're the ones that control the banks. We're banks. The banks are part of the conglomerate of Swift. And there's the lobbyists and the Congress all intertwined with the federal bank, the Federal Reserve. Think about it. All the central banks, all of them intertwined with one another. And they're pushing back and they're resisting. And then they get some of their where their lobby dollars. They're like, well, let's see. Look through the Rolodex. Where did our lobby dollars go? Okay, get on the phone. Oh, here we go. I got the phone here. Let's see if we can get on the phone here. I think let's call the Federal Reserve first. I think that number starts with let's call the operator. Let's get that 0 going. All right, we got get the Federal Reserve. So they reach out and they're like, okay, let's go to the European Central Bank. Let's go to the IMF. Let's go to all these and start disseminating misinformation, right? We got to disseminate the misinformation. Many are used, at least in transaction sense, mainly for illicit financing, right? So you start seeing this trend of misinformation. Christine Lagarde said that Bitcoin has conducted some funny business. I don't know how Bitcoin conducted the business, honestly. I'm sure that the people that conducted the business with Bitcoin were conducting the business with fiat currency before they even discovered Bitcoin. Now, Christine Lagarde says, totally reprehensible money laundering activity. Totally reprehensive. Oh, it's so horrible. So horrible. It's never happened before in the history of fiat currency. Fiat has never been used for illicit purpose. Never. Never been happened. Rep Emmer, besides Rep Emmer, right? There's others beside Rep Emmer. So, hang on. What happened here? Many people have tried to set the record straight that most crime is done in fiat currency, not in cryptocurrency. It's not just Rep Emmer. Others have come to these guys and said, hey, Christine Lagarde, hey, Janet Yellen, hey, Elizabeth Warren, hey, Gary Gensler, hey, the list goes on and on and on and on. By the way, why don't we go back and reference that there was a research done by this firm, a research firm, right? They researched it, the infamous they, and cryptocurrency fell in 2020 to 0.34% of all criminal activity that occurred. Not even 1%. So how is it that it's the worst thing? How is it that crypto is of particular concern? I don't understand. Maybe somebody that's in the chat right now can explain exactly why it is that crypto is of particular concern, but fiat isn't. Now, it's not the fiat that's evil. It's not the fiat that created the illicit purpose. The fiat wasn't sitting around kind of saying, okay, I'm $100 bill. What can I do? What kind of illicit things can I do? Bitcoin's not sitting around either thinking, and it's ones and zeros in the blockchain saying, all right, if only somebody will send me for some illicit purposes, it'll be great. So totally reprehensible money laundering activity. So now you hear among them is well-known economist Daniel Lacalle, fund manager and chief economist of Tressis Gestion, probably butchered all those names right there, calling Lagarde's statement outrageous. Look at this. Of course it's outrageous. I'm not, oh, sorry. I'm over here reading over here and you guys aren't, I'm still in the same article. This article is amazing. I love this article. And yet it's on bitcoin.com. But call it outrageous. Of course it's outrageous. We all know that vast majority of money laundering globally is conducted in fiat, particularly in US dollars and euros. Hey, Christine Lagarde, you're the president of the European Central Bank, and most money laundering uses your currency. Your currency, euro. Not Bitcoin, not XRP, not Ethereum, none of them. Why? Because as these criminals are finding out, when you use Bitcoin, they can find you. It's traceable. They might take some, good old fashioned detective work to connect all the dots, but they can track the dots of wallets. Okay, it went from this wallet to that wallet to that wallet. It was used for this crime. That's where it came from. And now let's figure out if we can connect some more dots and figure out who these wallets belong to. And then boom, they've caught people. They've caught terrorists. They've caught criminals who thought they were criminal masterminds using Bitcoin. Some have gotten away with it. They put it through those blenders and they get away with it. Fiat, 100% get away with it, unless you use the old-fashioned detective work. But there's no trail, no fiat trail to go back to, right? So it's amazing. Look at this. Mohammed El Aryan, advisor to Alliance and Gramercy Funds Management. Check this out. He urged governments, stop dismissing the crypto revolution. Right? This is the crypto revolution. How high is the cryptocurrency space going to go? Those in the brick and mortar, those in the know, Congressman Tom Emmer, Mohammed El Aryan, and many, many others, right? Kevin O'Leary, Michael Saylor, Elon Musk, and how many others understand where this is going to go. They know how high this is going to go. These guys are just pushing back. Why? Because they're not part of it. They make their money the old-fashioned way, through corruption. So you have, so that's why Christine Lagarde is coming out. It's outrageous. But Mohammed's like, stop dismissing the crypto revolution as some mix of illicit payment schemes and reckless financial speculation, because it isn't. Right? So it's amazing. So then obviously they're going to single out. Now all this stuff is going on, and the big groups, the big governments and the regulators, they're going to come out and they're going to say, let's single out an exchange. Who's the biggest exchange in the world right now? Binance. By the way, Binance is illegally offering crypto exchange services in the Netherlands. The Dutch Central Bank, we got to go after them. We got to shut them down. Binance has been attacked on all fronts. From all sides, they're attacked right now. I'm not saying they're not guilty. I'm not saying what they did isn't, they're not operating outside of the norm of KYC and AML. I'm not saying they're doing everything right. The very fact that they started stepping in the fractional, the tokenization of securities, and they started to sell tokenized securities, probably without any type of regulation or any type of licensing. They kind of stepped in it themselves, So this is amazing. I mean, I'm fired up about this. You guys should be fired up about it too. We should have 1,000 people in here right now fired up that cryptocurrency is blowing up. It's going someplace. Why is it? Because if you're doing something important, you're going to get pushback. You're going to get resistance. There's going to be competition. There's going to be all sorts of naysayers out there telling you you're wrong. It's not right. You're doing it the wrong way. You're bad. You're evil. You're wrong. Right? Because if you're not doing something important, nobody's going to say a damn word to you. Imagine if cryptocurrency, like 10 years ago, when Bitcoin came out, it was important, right? It was critical. But everyone's like, what the heck? We don't care about this. What the hell is Bitcoin? You got a guy buying pizza for 10,000 Bitcoin. The guys that are in their computer labs, they're the only ones playing around with Bitcoin. Nobody else is ever going to adopt Bitcoin. Who wants digitized money? That's never going to happen, right? 10 years ago. However, over that period of time, and we can go back, I made videos on this like 2 years ago. I was digging into this stuff, but Bank of America, JP Morgan, and even Walmart were putting up patents on blockchain, cryptocurrency, or blockchain projects involving crypto, mostly blockchain, as far back as 2014. So as far back as 2014, the banks and big corporations that were trying to buy up as many patents as they could in this space, they knew something was coming, right? They knew something was coming. So it's exciting. It's exciting, right? We should be super ultra passionate about this, and we should be fired up that there's something happening right now in this space that's super, super exciting. Right now, for those of you that are invested into the XDC digital asset, right? Check this out. Check this out. Zinfin XDC Network selected as the first blockchain company to join the Global Trade Finance Distribution Initiative. That's a mouthful. What the heck is that? I don't know. That news came out like 4 days ago, 5 days ago. I think it's like 4 or 5 days ago. Look, it was 2018. That's 4 days ago. It's not relevant anymore 4 or 5 days ago. That news is already old. What's 4 or 5 days in the grand scheme of things? It's not that important anymore if it's already 4 or 5 days old. But check this out. Check out how cool this is, right? XDC Network joins major transaction banks, SME funding platforms, small, medium-sized enterprise funding platforms, and institutional investors committed to accelerating the digitization of trade distribution. Another mouthful, right? What in the world is going on here? Remove myself. That doesn't do any good. Can't remove myself from the thing. If I remove myself, I won't be able to talk anymore. Man, we're 34 minutes into this thing. What's up, guys? This is awesome. Chip, hopefully you're having fun with your family. Hopefully you're tuning in and listening. Chip's out there hanging out with the family, which is really cool. Wanted to just say, hey, if you're brand new here, why don't you invite some more people in here? Go ahead and tweet it out. Do whatever you can. You want to help support On the Chain. The On the Chain community, we have by far the brightest, the smartest, the most intelligent subscribers and comments in all of crypto. I've been on all these other crypto channels, and I've never seen the level of intelligence that I see coming from our subscribers. Some people don't agree with us. I love it. I love when people don't agree and they put some statements in there, come in as a Bitcoin maxi, or maybe I said something that was a little outside of crypto. And they're like, why are you even talking about that? It doesn't, you got to stay off that topic. But all I know is, hey, check this out. You can hit that subscribe button, subscribe to On the Chain. If you want to really help, hit that bell notifier. I know it sounds hokey and everyone said they're like, smash the bell. But I'll tell you what, it actually does. It actually does help. No, we don't like that one. I like this one. Thumbs up, subscribe, hit that bell. The bell, it's actually part of the Google algorithm. People come in there like, you guys should have, thousands of views, thousands of people watching live and, tens of thousands of views on the videos. And they're like, how can we help? You know what? Just following the Google algorithms. Again, I know it sounds cheesy, it's hokey and all that stuff. But if you hit that bell notifier, you do get notified, but it helps the channel growth. It tells Google that, hey, there's a lot of people interested in making sure that they're up to date. And then it takes our video and pushes it in front of more people, gets more eyes on the video. So that's really cool. That really does help. It does, honestly. So, all right. So check this out. So where were we? We're talking about Zinfin, right? And we were talking about the Trade Finance Distribution Network. What in the world is that? The TFD initiative. Now, let's dig into the TFD initiative, because when you look at a project, right? We look at a project like Ripple and we're like, XRP, we got all these people fired up about XRP, Ripple XRP, Ripple XRP. What Ripple taking on Swift? That's awesome. But the XRP ledger, probably one of the best technologies right now in the blockchain space for moving money. And then all of a sudden, there's all these other initiatives in DeFi and all sorts of cool things happening. And we're going to talk a little bit more about NFTs and the craze in the NFT space again, because that's also exciting and also questionable. We want to talk about the questionable part. But the TFD initiative, right? This is the Zinfin, which someone who said it was a sleeper, who said that people, kind of ignore it. I saw someone, go through there and then they're like, XDC, people ignore XDC and badmouth it. And they're kind of sleeping on the XDC. They're sleeping on Zinfin. They're like, it's not a real prop, blah, 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 whatever. So I'm looking at this. I'm like, XDC, Zinfin, they're doing some cool things. But is it real? Do they have real utility? Is it a real project? Is it a real project? And then, right? And then you see shaping the future of trade finance distribution. What is this thing? Let's check it out, right? Creating the blueprint for global trade finance distribution. Now you have institutional investors. This is the trade finance distribution thing that they're now a part of, right? So institutional investors want to invest in trade finance, right? But they don't always have access to the asset class. Banks want to expand distribution of trade assets, and they're looking for finance investors. So we know they both want to connect. They're not connecting. So now you have this distribution network. Check this out. The main innovation in trade. Check this out. The main innovation in trade over the past 100 years have been linked to standardization. Swift. That's probably one of the biggest, right? That's one of the biggest. There's another big one, and we're going to look at it, and it's kind of crazy. But Swift back in 1974 was revolutionary because banks didn't communicate properly with one another. They weren't able to communicate. They didn't have a common language, and everything got confused and was slow and was just a shit show. And then they're like, Swift, let's create this messaging language and it'll make things better. Not great, but better, right? But check this out. This is the shipping container. The shipping container was the most important development in that respect, significantly reducing load times and costs, making the worldwide transport of goods dramatically more efficient. A shipping container. So in the past 100 years, you're like, the shipping container, that's the big thing. That thing made out of metal, that's the big invention. That's what's helped with standardization, the shipping container and Swift. Two things, right? Maybe the phone instead of the telegraph. Definitely the phone and safer ships and airplanes. But the shipping container, the shipping container comes in 20 foot and 40 foot. You can pack a lot of stuff in a 20. You can pack a lot more in a 40-foot container. I had a guy come to the warehouse once and he came over and he goes, I need to bring this stuff to Turkey. And I said, great. And he said, but, and I told him, I was like, you can fit 4 of them in a 20-foot container, 8 of them in a 40-foot container. And he said, I'm going to put 10 of them in a 20-foot container. I said, that's impossible. You're never going to break down this equipment and put 10 of them in a 20-foot container. He goes, watch me. I'm going to make it happen. And I said, well, all right. He goes, I'm going to come to your warehouse. I'm going to spend a week at your warehouse. Do you have space in the warehouse? I said, yes. He came out, spent a week in the warehouse, broke this equipment down beyond. No one's ever broken it down like that. Broke it down, packed 10 of them into a shipping container, a 20-foot shipping container, put it on the truck, hauled it off, shipped it off to Turkey. The rest is history. The shipping container, how amazing is that, right? Can we get excited about a shipping container? Is a shipping container representative of what Ripple is doing? If RippleNet is the shipping container, or maybe it's not even RippleNet. I should say the XRP ledger is the shipping container that's moving the transaction of all these financial institutions, and RippleNet is the shipper that is utilizing that is using the XRP ledger shipping container. Right? It's amazing. And they're packing all sorts of stuff in there and moving it instantly, doing things no one's ever done with a shipping container before. But check it out. So the TFD, right, this organization, this TFD initiative, the Trade Finance Distribution Initiative, they want to have a similar impact on the distribution of trade finance assets. So this is a really cool organization. And this is an organization that just added Zinfin, just added XDC. Right? You should be fired up right now. You should be like, holy crap, XDC. What's XDC sitting at right now? 18 cents, 17 cents, right? And you're looking at this project, you're like, is it worthy? I don't know. I mean, a month from now, Zinfin, XDC could go back to zero. I have no idea, right? But you're looking at a real project, a real initiative, a trade finance initiative that's trying to change things. Check out the members. Right? This is where you're like, is this for real? Is this real at this point? Look at the members of this trade initiative, right? AIG, aka ABN AMRO, Banco de Brazil. I don't know ABC. I don't know Channel Capital. Commonwealth Bank of Australia. For all those in Australia, you guys probably know that one. I don't know a lot of these. Deutsche Bank, right? HSBC, ING, International Chamber of Commerce. Lloyd's Bank. We all know Lloyd's Bank. National Bank of Bahrain. I don't know any of these. Let's see. Santander. We all know Santander. Standard Bank. Standard Chartered. Swiss Re. I don't know those. World of Open Account. And then XDC Network. How cool is that? The International Chamber of Commerce of the United Kingdom, the ICC, has joined the TFD initiative as an observer, right? That's crazy, right? It's awesome. It's amazing. It's exciting. Look at that. Their focus, industry-driven. Boom. For banks and NBFIs. What is an NBFI? NBFs. Driven. Did they explain? Does anybody know what an NBF is? I don't know. That's ridiculous. I don't know what an NBF is. Developing standards, right? Powered by trade tech. Leading trade finance platform. Allows originating banks and funders to efficiently connect, interact, and transact. Now, XDC is a part of this. Now, I would think, hey, you know what? If you're going to do something like that, why isn't Ripple a part of it? But it's XDC. That you get fired up about that. Then you go back over here like Zinfin, XDC Network selected as the first blockchain company to join them. This was just like 4 days ago. It's amazing. Look, check it out. A highly interoperable hybrid blockchain platform that supports global trade and finance. What a cool project. What a cool initiative. And it's part of the TFD. It's so cool. So cool. So check this out. Someone talked about Swift a little bit earlier, right? XDC Network was selected to join the TFD initiative by fintech veteran Andre Casterman. Where's he from? I don't know. 20 years at Swift. Check that out. 20 years at Swift. Almost, from well, it's a little older than 20 years, but, think about that. How cool is that? Man, to establish trade as an investment class. Unreal, right? I mean, you get into this and it's super exciting. I'm like, if you can't get excited about this, I don't know what you can get excited about. Oh, there you go. That's what it was. Non-bank financial institution. Hello, that's right. Non-bank financial company. That's right. BIS Zurich. What is up, Homery? Man, sweet. That's awesome. So cool. I knew there were smart people in here. I'd miss it. And then there's Quant. You got people are talking about Quant QNT as a great API and allows companies to connect internal systems to different crypto ledgers. There's so many great projects, real projects. What do you need all these fake projects for, right? All these meme coins. What do they really need Dogecoin for? When you have these amazing projects that are actually doing something. Wouldn't it be funny though? Dogecoin becomes the international currency. Everybody's using Doge. I mean, it's hilarious, right? But then you have all these real projects. It's amazing. All right. I'm excited, man. I hope you guys are fired up. So cool. It's so cool. Chip, where are you, Chip? Where are you, Chip? Now, we're talking a little bit about Cardano, right? ADA, check this out. Cardano prepares for assault on DeFi, unveils new stablecoin. Uh-oh. What are they getting into now? Are they getting ready to tackle somebody? Cardano's close to its final hard fork combinator, the Alonzo, where they're going to add smart contract capabilities. Developers, community projects, and IOG preparing for the milestone and the potential growth of the network's ecosystem. Huh. Man, it's exciting. Now they want to add a stable coin. Look at this. Recently, IOG released a paper describing a new algorithm stablecoin to be launched on the platform called DJED or JED or DJED or DJED. 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 I don't know. It's one of those. It's one of those. So ADA. So if ADA is at 273. 273 right now on the ADA. What is XDC at? Check out XDC. Is XDC at 17 cents? Chips out. Out for the count. Man, oh man. Look at this. Look at all these ads. Man, look at all these ads. I'm just like, bro, everywhere you look, there's an ad. You can't get away from them. It's like, I can't get away from ads. Too much. All right. So enough of that. Let's get into something else exciting. What else is exciting? Let's see here. Let's see. Here's something else. The SEC boss says that DeFi platforms are highly centralized and will need to register. Gary Gensler stated that many DeFi projects are highly centralized in certain aspects as they are developed by a core group of folks who are incentivized to promote their platform. Yeah, all right. Gary Gensler, chair of the U.S. SEC, stated that decentralized finance is highly centralized in certain aspects. Well, wait, like the central bank, like the Federal Reserve, like a CBDC, a central bank digital currency. Well, what does he mean? It's highly centralized, decentralized finance, DeFi. It's highly centralized. And he urged projects working in the sector to register with the SEC. Now, it's possible there could be some platforms that are in this DeFi space, but are centralized. Look at this. These platforms facilitate something that might be decentralized in some aspects, but highly centralized in other aspects. Like what? Can you explain it? Let's see. Gensler asserted that many are developed and controlled by a centralized team that is incentivized to promote its platform. It's possible. It's possible. These so-called decentralized finance platforms actually have a lot of centralization. There's a group of entrepreneurs that are running these platforms. They should come in and to that extent work with us and get registered. Come on, guys. Can't make this stuff up. I swear. I swear you can't make this up. So funny. Anyhow, let's move on. We talked a little bit about Binance, right? Binance. Did you know there was an outage, a Binance outage? I don't use Binance, so I didn't know that there was an outage. But traders lost millions because of their outage. Binance policies allow investors to get compensation on trading losses due to the system or internal issues, but does not cover the what could have been situation. Well, screw you, because what could have been, I could have made $1 million. And then you had an outage and I couldn't make $1 million. That's what could have been. No, I don't know. I mean, compensate for the trade losses, but if I can't trade for 3 days and it spikes and I could have traded, it's your fault that I can't trade. Now they're having some growing pains. There's some issues. There's issues across the board. Speaking to CNBC, a Binance spokesperson highlighted the company's policy that promises to compensate actual trading loss due to system or internal issues. But noticed we don't cover hypotheticals. I get that. It's a hypothetical. But had I been able to trade, so what people are going to say is I would have sold today and taken my wins, but I can't. Now you have to prove it. That's going to go to court. I don't know, temporarily. Come on, it's a spike in traffic, but there's something going on over there. Netherlands, Malaysia, South Korea, in the US. Brian Brooks resigned from Binance US. What's going on with Binance? That's what I would like to know. What is going on with Binance? That's what I want to know. Okay. Then we see that Binance, they're getting a little concerned. Why? Because they're actually tightening. Check it out. Tightening their customer verification process amid a push for regulatory. So they've been avoiding their KYCs to an extent, but now they have to tighten it up. They have to get with the program because they've been attacked from multiple different directions. Now they have to get with the program, right? Check this out. This is awesome. So Kevin O'Leary, Tom Emmer, we talked about a whole bunch of people, right? So check out this amazing survey. More commercials, ads. Check this out from yesterday. The future belongs to cryptocurrencies. Banks must embrace it, a Deloitte survey says. There's these big surveys, these big companies that are in the finance space, that research companies. They do a lot of important research. They're saying, banks, get on board or you're done. A recent study revealed that 73% of senior executives at financial institutions fear their companies will fall behind in terms of development if they fail to adopt virtual currencies and blockchain tech. 76% believe assets will replace fiat money. 76% of senior executives at financial institutions believe that digital assets will replace fiat in the next 5 to 10 years. Christine Lagarde, Janet Yellen, Elizabeth Warren, the list goes on and on and on of all these guys, right, that are pushing back. Jamie Dimon used to be a big one, pushing back against the inevitable. Crypto would swap physical money. The multinational professional service provider Deloitte conducted a survey among more than 1,000 bank leaders and executives of financial institutions in the come on now. We're in the middle of a good article here and I can't get rid of this thing. Hang on. Oh, there we go. Look at this. All right, I'll read it out. US, UK, China, Hong Kong, Germany, Brazil, Japan, Singapore, South Africa, and the UAE. The goal to determine if these top managers see the future intertwined with cryptocurrencies, and 76% said within the next 5 to 10 years, cryptocurrency is going to replace them. Replace fiat. Replace them. Goodbye. Yeah, Mr. Right, you're right. I always default to here. I just need to use Brave. I should have my Brave over here, and that's it. It would be a lot easier. Makes a lot more sense. I just did it based on what's easy versus what's right. Good point. Good point. In the last year, we've seen a significant shift in how the global financial ecosystem is thinking about new business model fueled by digital assets and how this is playing a meaningful role in the financial infrastructure. Love it. 43% of the respondents opined that their institution should adopt crypto as a payment option. 43% as a payment option. Among the elderly executives, this figure stands even higher. Elderly. The elderly executives, not the younger ones. I don't even know, what does that even mean? Elderly, 40, 50, 60, 30, 70. I don't know. The figure stands at 6. According to every sixth person from the survey, regulatory barriers are the biggest obstacle for wider digital asset acceptance. 71% fear that cybersecurity in the crypto space needs improvements. That's what an amazing research, right? This is mainstream research that researches a ton of stuff in the business financial space. Man, this place, it's getting more exciting every single day. More exciting every single day. Now, check this out. Come on, Benzinga. Come on, Benzinga. Why do you got to do that to me? Why do you have to pop up all sorts of stuff? You're right. I should be using a blocker. I shouldn't have any of this stuff here. And it should just be, okay, well, let's just look at this title here. Let's just look at what they got, because check this article out. If you had $5,000 right now, would you put it in Bitcoin or baby Dogecoin? And I look at this, and I'm like, I don't think I'd put it in either one. I would put it in XDC right now. Do you see how fired up XDC is? Or maybe ADA, or maybe a whole host of other things. I think Bitcoin's good too, but 5,000, I'll put 5,000 into something else. Definitely not baby Dogecoin. Why even bring that up? What a crazy question, crazy commentary. Now, as another note here, I wanted to bring this one up. NFTs. This is a hackernoon.com. Hackernoon.com. Check this out. Are NFTs the next ICO fraud? Just when you thought you were safe and U.S. enforcement agencies have cleaned up the ICO space, you're not. Next up is the NFT craze, and it's no different than what happened previously with ICOs. Only this time, the fraud is hiding behind art and collectibles. Now, maybe there's some fraud. Maybe people are buying these little 8-bit things and spending a ridiculous amount of money on it. I don't know. People are owning 1 or 2 or whatever number they print of these. Maybe they're owning a fraction of one. But there's a lot of money being moved around. But this article, I look at some of this stuff, and I just had to reference this, because look at this. The NFT marketplace exploded. I've been also shocked at how it's exploded. I'm like, why are people buying these things? But people are buying them, right? But then this guy's logic, everything was working so well for everyone until the SEC decided to look into it. Sadly, they determined these crypto sales were the sale of securities, and none of the companies behind those sales had registered those securities with the SEC. Now, they're referencing ICOs. Then he gets on and goes into NFTs are taking a similar approach, maybe even a more creative one. A bunch of business people find cool artists to create virtual artwork, piece it up with many tokens, auction it off, and it gets sold in the marketplace, right? These operators are creating unique artwork divided into about 100 tokens and convincing investors that if they buy them, they'll be able to resell them for more money, because no more NFTs like this will be issued ever, depending on scarcity. So they're creating FOMO, right? Maybe, you can get a CryptoPunk for 1.98 million. I don't know. I mean, why do you want to buy one of those? An 8-bit. People want it. It's crazy. It's like Beanie Babies. It's like, all sorts of other stuff. But then this guy gets into this and he said maybe not because people are willing. However, the problem is that these friendly and sometimes scary images are sold to investors who are buying securities. What? They're buying them as securities? I wrote an article previously about NFTs and showed how these are securities because they trip the Howey test. The core of the issue is that there are marketplaces to sell and investors expect profits. How is that trip the Howey test? It doesn't even fit into any of the narratives of the Howey test. Might be a Ponzi scheme. I don't know. I mean, but if people want to buy them and people like them and they want to invest in them and they want to collect them and they want to do it out, if they go up in price, it's not based on someone else's effort. They're buying these things like Beanie Babies or whatever else in hopes that they go up. I don't know. I mean, are NFTs legit? Are they not legit? Can they be legit? If you create a little cool, I mean, NFTs, the idea, I mean, you can create them and they're really cool, but are they, people want to buy them. That's it. I mean, it's cool. I mean, that's what people want to do. But this guy's concept of it being somehow tripping up the Howey test, like, come on. Do you have the Gronk NFT? Look at this. Baseball, hockey, football, basketball cards are also securities. My lemon tree is a security because I've sold off the lemons, and that's it. Every lemon has been sold as an NFT. How cool is that? So that's it. I mean, you guys are awesome. We went through, to me, every day I'm fired up. Yeah, we come on, we look at this stuff. Chip and I find a whole bunch of cool stuff to talk about. You guys are I go into the chat. You guys, you can make a whole video just on your chat, the comments and all of that. It's awesome. Hey, if you guys are brand new to On the Chain, never been to the On the Chain community, then you guys know what to do. You can subscribe. Subscribe helps. Hit the bell notifier because that helps the algorithms and you get notified every single time we go live. And if you hit the thumbs up, it also tells Google and the algorithms that, hey, you like the video and we got, a bunch of people watching and that's really cool. You can also go check us out. Follow us over on Twitter. It's on_the_chain. Check that out. That's really cool. And let's see what else. I think that's what we got for today. We do stream 6 days a week, Sunday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be back tomorrow night right here, Chip and I, on the chain to check you guys out tomorrow night. So until then, have a good one and we'll see you on the next one. I'm out.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.